welcome back to the channel, and this is part 11 of the Take Me Back to Eden discussion and analysis listen along series. I have had an absolute blast with this. I really have. So thank you to everyone that's popped in and out of my live stream with this. I very much appreciate you all. This track always leaves me a little bit lost for words, so we're just going to go straight into it. So beautiful. So beautiful.
I dream in phosphorescence, bleed through spaces, see you drifting past the fall, but no one told you where to go. We dive through crystal waters, perfect oceans, but no one told me not to breathe. And now the weightlessness recedes. Mama, those eyes like fire. I'm a winged insect, you're a funeral pyre. Come now, bite through these wires. I'm a waking hell and the gods grow tired. Reset my patient violence along both lines of a pathway higher.
I'm just going to pause here. Yes, I absolutely love that. The fact that it looks very Angel of Death, I think that's fantastic and very fitting.
Grow back your sharpest teeth, you know my desire. I will travel far beyond the path of reason. Take me back to Eden, take me back to Eden.
Chills. Exactly. Wait for it.
Well, yeah, I spit blood when I wake up. Sink porcelain stain, choking up brain matter and makeup. Just 2 days since the mainframe went down and I'm still messed up.
When I first heard that, there are some singers, like throughout this album, you hear kind of moments where you just think he's got rhythm. He really has rhythm. And if you ever get the chance to see them live, please do so, because he has that rhythm and that very hypnotic flow live with his movements, and it's incredible to see. And then he does this, and I'm just like, what? It's seriously, what can't this band do?
Room feels like a meat freezer, I dangling like cold cuts. Missed calls, answer phones from people I just don't trust. Mirror talk, fake love, but I'll take a pound of your flesh before you take a piece of my pay stub. White roses, black doves.
I love that line.
Godmother, rise up, I need you to see me for what I have become. My, those eyes like fire, I'm a winged insect, you're a funeral pyre. Come now, bite through these wires, I'm a waking hell and the gods grow tired. Reset my patient violence along both lines of a pathway higher. Grow back your sharpest teeth, you know my desire.
And I just love that it changes again.
I guess it goes to show, does it not, that we've no idea what we've got until we lose it. And no amount of love will keep it around if we don't choose it. And I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to bite back in anger. No amount of self-absorbed fury will bring back the glory of innocence.
I'm going to pause here because Monst actually brings out a very, very good point. And I'm getting choked up, so I need to just take a very quick break. Yes. And they do that so very well on this album. It's like each song has distinct parts, but those distinct parts are blended together so well. It just tells that story, and I just think it's so wonderfully done. They've made something so special with this album. They really have. Pull back to chokeholds. Yes. didn't notice that before. Sorry, I'm pausing like right at the end. The water rising up. There is a symbolism there that I have not connected, and I don't know what it is, but ah, yes. So good. Makes me wonder if that's Charon, ferryman, in a sense. Oh, this is not the end. There is one more song. Oh, oh, that's so good. And yes, Bohemian Rhapsody, but done today. I was snapping you for that because that's such a great comparison. I love that. Ah, this one, yes, absolutely. And you and I discussed this the other night. And I'll come to that. Um, yeah, well, Take Me Back to Eden has so many callbacks to other Sleep Token songs, and that's something I will actually touch upon like once I'm done. It's actually, and it's one that I love so much. If you couldn't tell from the big emotion, it was one of the hardest ones for me to interpret and analyze. Um, like he seems to have taken a step back, dreaming in phosphorescence, which is an enduring light given off with little heat. And it's saying that he can see the other person drifting through space and fog. And again, we come back to that idea of liminal spaces, being caught between waking and dreaming, reality and unreality, life and death. The latter, especially so if my earlier theory about the other person having not survived the aftermath of granite is correct, also ties in with the angel of death imagery. Um, he says that the other person has eyes like fire. He's drawn to them, like a moth to a flame. I'm a winged insect, you're a funeral pyre. And the imagery of him getting close enough to this person to be burned yet again is incredibly strong. And he speaks of biting, sharp teeth, desire. He's still clinging to this person, or rather their memory, because it's easier for him to be there than it is for him to break away from it, learn from that past, and grow. The past still has him in its metaphorical jaws. He's still tangled in the wires. He's in a waking hell. And now he finds that even the gods are getting tired of his pleas. They're not answering him. He wants to return to his Eden. And this is what I'm agreeing with what Falcon is saying here. Take me back to Eden. Take me back to the beginning. Take me back to bliss. Take me back to when I was unaware. I didn't know any better, when I was ignorant, when I was innocent. And he wants he wants to travel beyond reason to get there. Like again, this feels like he's taken such a big step backwards, which isn't unusual during the healing process. And he's wanting to join his previous lover wherever they are, hence traveling beyond the path of reason. Um, that line for me, and Falcon knows this because I sing it every time we listen to the song together, has another meaning, and it ties into another Sleep Token song, which I will touch upon later. Eden to me doesn't feel like of an actual place, but more of a state of mind for him, a time when he could think clearly, a time when his feelings and his emotions weren't tangled up in the wires and branches of somebody else. And it was a time for him when he felt more at ease, more himself, and this is what he's longing for now. He just feels like he maybe doesn't deserve it, and he doesn't know how to get there. And when he says it's 2 days since the mainframe went down and I'm still messed up, and like again, I'm trying to say that without using the cadence that he used. It's really difficult. I'm wondering if he's talking about the aftermath of granite, or the aftermath of the realization that the relationship is definitively over despite that memory of it haunting him. It's not been long since that happened. He's still affected by it. Of course he is. Even though he thought he'd found someone new that washed away some of his past in rain, that mainframe idea brings back the technology aspect to things, code, circuitry, hardware, as though he feels maybe he's no longer fully human. He stopped answering calls. He's lost trust and faith in people. Everything feels like it's fake, like he's on the wrong side of the mirror looking back at himself and the world from the wrong angle. That for me ties in now to what we were saying in an earlier episode about his reflection not looking like it should. He's on the wrong side of it now. And he wants people to see what he's becoming. Maybe there's a darker version of himself that's taken over and he just doesn't care to hide it anymore. He's done. And that idea is furthered a bit later on when he says he doesn't know what's gotten into him, but he's filled with anger from it. And he knows now that no amount of self-hatred is going to bring things back to the way that they were before all of this happened. Um, he says that he knows you don't know what you have until you've lost it. And this next line for me always hits really, really hard. No amount of love will keep it around if you don't choose it. That's important. That is so, so important. And it to me, it just says that sometimes just being in love with somebody isn't enough. You have to work and you have to fight for the things and the people that are important to you. Sometimes love has to be worked on. It has to be compromised for. You have to continually make that conscious effort to keep things alive. And sometimes you have to let go of the things that hurt you in the past, the things that might be stopping you from making a more solid, real connection now because you don't fully trust that it won't be the same situation as before. Sometimes you have to reach out, and I'm borrowing from another song, on faith alone, to the person that's holding their hand out to you and saying, hey, I love you. I'm here for you. No matter what, I've got you. We then hear a very, very familiar refrain as we reach the chorus again. We're being brought back to chokehold, which to me gives the impression that he's still under the hold of this original person, still tangled up like branches in their flood. What's interesting to me here is that water analogy again. With the song Rain, it was a very cleansing, healing element, but here and with chokehold, it's destructive. It's a force that's washing everything away and destroying things. The ending three lines that are screamed rather than sung, ugh, that feels like such a release to me. That feels like a catharsis. And he's screaming that he wants to be taken back, like he's breaking free from something. The background music itself feels so angry and heavy, like he's just ripping these metaphorical chains off of himself in a final desperate bid for freedom. And by that point, it's almost as if he is so consumed by this past relationship and it's colouring everything in his present life. He's fully immersed in this toxic give and take cycle. And it's almost like it's become something of a game to him now, and it's one that he can't win. Um, and that's kind of my interpretation of this song. And as I said, for me, it was an incredibly difficult one to interpret. I don't know what kind of had me kind of stuttering a little bit there, but please do let me know if anything I've said kind of resonated at all. Um, I'm just going to read my chat very quickly. One of four songs on the album usually gets me. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I can fully understand why. Fully understand why. After a certain number of years, it hits different and destroys a part of you that you can't get back. I am right there with you. I am right there with you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've been through that. And I'll be real with you because I can't be anything else. There are people that come into your life for however long and they leave a mark. And sometimes it's beautiful and it's life affirming and it's incredible and it makes you so so happy. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's destroying and destructive, and it leaves it leaves less of a mark and more of a wound. and you feel like it's not going to heal, um, it will. And I think that's actually quite a nice place to leave that analysis and move on to final track. I'm sad. um, the final track is Euclid, and it is. I'll let it speak for itself. I will absolutely let it speak for itself. We will move into Euclid, and I will see you all there. Thank you for watching.